And it was at that very moment that Joe realized he had been eating a moldy dish rag the entire time.
Ew!
Ew!
Hear someone telling a scary story?
No, Steve was just telling an actual story about me. So you actually ate a moldy dish rag? Like, the entire thing?
Like, aren't you surprised? That's not even that crazy for Joe.
Yeah, earlier today he burped his 1, 2, 3s, so...
Enough! Listen, I thought I heard a scary story in progress, and I want all the effort in doing my scary entrance routine. I'm on a roll. We're just gonna go with it, okay? Now, who among you is brave enough to hear this scary story called The Spooky Owl? Is it supposed to be anything like a famous short story, like The Monkey's Paw? No, that story isn't spooky whatsoever. Gotcha. Anyways, The Spooky Owl is a story about a young frog. Oh boy, here we go. Yes, it is indeed coincidental that you are a frog, and the story involves a frog. Do not interrupt me again. Now then, on to my scary story, which is, as always, to die for! Once upon a time, there was a young frog who cared very, very much about the way he looks. What is happening right now? I realize it's coincidental. Now stop interrupting! Anyway, one day the frog was looking around until he came upon an owl. You see, this is no ordinary owl. It's a magical but really spooky wishing owl. The magic owl told the frog that he would offer him 3 wishes. But there was a catch. All of his wishes would be granted in a rather spooky fashion. And so the frog went back to the room and started to begin his first wish. That he would have an incredible pet. Immediately, the wish came true. But you see, the cool pet looked rather spooky. So spooky, in fact, that he wouldn't take him to see his friends. So the frog began to make his second wish. That the woman of his dreams would fall madly in love with him. Again, the wish came true immediately. She loved him dearly and cannot be convinced otherwise, no matter what. You see, the frog absolutely reeked with spookiness. It eventually came worser and worser by the current, including in the frog himself. No matter how many times he bathed or tried to hide in his ridiculous collection of body sprays, the frog spooked to high heaven. But his love was not deterred. He was still feeling very happy, even though she spooked the frog whenever he came near. But he was so depressed, and he looked awful. And he was crying all over. And the love of his life was spooking him far too frequently by now. I wish for the spookiness to go away, he thought to himself. And that was before he realized he still had 1 wish remaining. Why, he could simply wish the spookiness away. And so he sat by the owl and began ordering his wish aloud, saying, I wish for the spookiness, but then, in the middle of a sentence, he caught a whiff of himself, and vomited uncontrollably. But unfortunately, the magic owl heard the frog's request. He had wished for the spookiness, and that is precisely what he got. From that day forward, the spooky dust spread across the land, causing everyone who felt it to die in horror. The dust was so awful, in fact, that some people even spooked themselves to death. It spread all over the world, and it somehow got even worse. Everyone knew it was the frog that brought the spooky curse upon them. But eventually, to kill the frog would be too kind. The true punishment was to allow him to live alongside his spooky, happy true love and his spooky-looking pet every day for the rest of his natural life. The end.
Now that's a scary story that passed the sniff test.
Guys, where's George?
Oh, I believe he went to change the radiator for his riding lawnmower.
Checks out. I believe it.
Wow, that was a really good scary story. The way you described the smell, I could practically smell it.
Actually, that wasn't the story. That was me.
Joe!
Ow! What? I can't help it. I have allergies.
Did someone say scary stories?
What? Dude, no one said anything. We were all asleep.
Well, could someone mention scary stories? I don't even understand. I'm just gonna go back and start over. Okay, I'm ready. Go for it.
Scary stories.
Did someone say scary stories?
Yeah? You asked us to?
Well, it just so happens that I have a brand new scary story to share with you. It's called The Backyard Bear. And don't worry, I promise it doesn't bite.
Excited to hear it. Sounds furry scary to me.
Thanks for that, Joe. Really wrecked the mood. Anyway. Once upon a time, there was someone who likes going outside.
Like me?
No, less annoying than you.
Like me?
Sure, why not? Anyway, one day, the pink monkey loves hanging out outside. So he thought he would take a look at the weather. As he walked to the glass door, he could see that clouds of gray were coming in, and she wonders if it might rain soon. But in her case, she was being silly. And so, she opened the glass door, heading outside. As she walked out, she can see the beautiful grass and trees and all the houses. But suddenly, she hears some very strange noises. She hears them everywhere, over every fence. She knows something very strange is happening here. Noises started to get louder. She still hears it around every corner. The sounds got louder and louder. She covered her ears. Until then, she hears even more. and she knows what's hiding behind the fence. And jumping it over was a bear. You see, this was no ordinary bear. It was a backyard bear who eats people alive whenever they go out in the backyard. So the bear walked over to the pink monkey around the fences. As it walked over, it suddenly stopped and stood there, staring at the pink monkey, until it's finally ready to eat her alive. And so the bear jumped and started to eat and cut every limb of her body. And one final scream echoed far and wide until she was all eaten by the bear. Well, that was a good one. It really had some teeth.
Hey, where's Linda?
Oh, she had to go to see the new fax machine message. A fax? Nobody sent one of those in like over 20 years. Well, you know how it takes for a fax to come through sometimes. I mean, it's just like... and the paper gets jammed, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I gotta go, but just remember, if you wanna ever hear another one of my world-famous scary stories, all you must do in order to summon me is say the magic words, scary stories. Clever! It is clever. Goodbye. So let me get this straight, Ink Devil. Every time someone says scary stories, you have to appear and tell a scary story? Yes, that is correct. Good to know, Ink Devil. I'll be sure to say scary stories the next time I want to hear a scary story. Okay, just please stop saying that. Stop saying what? Scary stories? I'm already here. Scary stories. I want to go home. Don't say it. I'm gonna say it. Don't. But I wanna. Joe, you know the moment you say it, he's gonna pop out of the shadows or something. So don't say it!
Don't say what?
The word scary stories, because the moment we say it... Did someone say scary stories?
Ah!
Oh, so it pleases me that you wish to hear another one of my world-famous scary stories. We actually don't. We just said... Well, my latest creation is entitled... The Were-Puppy.
Whoa, cool. Is Steve Burns in it?
Is Joshua Dela Cruz in it? I'm afraid we couldn't afford them. But this has something to do with a full moon. Once upon a time, on a dark and cold night just like this one, there was a little dog that had been walking for the mystery of the Were-Puppy. Because people had told him that the Were-Puppy does exist and is out and about on the cold night. So he started looking for clues. He found where the damage had been made. And so he was looking for more clues. He kept looking for evidence as to where the Were-Puppy might have gone. Then, there was a familiar thwomp. The dog wondered where the sound had come from. There, standing right behind it, was a familiar shape, just like the dog's. Could it be the were-puppy? It had a dark shadow, so it could be him. The dog was really scared. The were-puppy went straight towards him. The dog jumped over the fence and then walked back inside. But the glass door was locked. He's trapped outside with the were-puppy. He suddenly stood there, and the were-puppy charged towards the dog and started to feast. Later, the dog woke up and found nothing had changed. But what the dog didn't know, that he was actually the were-puppy inside the dog's body.
Ah! Man, that was a good one, Ink Devil.
Yeah, you should definitely post it on Autobile.
Oh, what?
That story kind of freaked me out a little bit. Just the thought of turning into a werewolf and... Wait! Where's Steve?
Who cares? He was boring anyway.
That's true. 17 bottles of pop in the wall, 17 bottles of pop. Take one down, pass it around. I just lost count. Where was I?
I don't know, dude. I've been trying to zone you out for 24 hours.
Oh well, I'll just start over. 999 bottles of pop in the wall, 999 bottles.
Seriously, where are our friends? They've been gone way too long.
I don't know, Josh. I don't even know how long they've been gone for.
Hey, Ink Devil!
You rang?
Ever since you started telling scary stories around our bed, our friends have been disappearing. What's going on?
Yeah, where's George? Where's Linda? And where's my best friend Steve?
Am I really your best friend, Joe?
You hear that? Steve was talking from the bedroom light or something. That's not normal, and we want answers now.
Alright, you got me. My newest scary story will explain everything.
What? Just tell us.
It's entitled Ice Cream Face.
Ooh, let's hear about it, Josh. I hope it's a stranger in an ice cream truck in it.
Oh, it's more than that, my friend. And I believe the two of you will love it to death. Now then. Once upon a time, there were two friends, a young hippo and a young outrageously fuzzy owl.
Not necessary, dude.
One day, the two friends learned that Dairy Queen had added a new ice cream in their menu. This, of course, was surprising to them, as it was announced by a little bunny, so to speak. But they decided to have fun with it. So the two friends started to prank each other by placing pictures of ice cream in surprising locations for the other to find. Inside the refrigerator, underneath the toilet lid, on the ceiling of the other's bed. The prank, which they call Ice Cream Face, was all in good fun at first. because after the little owl got ice cream faced by the picture taped to the bottom of the table.
Wait. I think you mean top of the table.
No, I definitely mean bottom. I'm telling you, this guy is way too small. Offended that the table prank had cashed in on his shortness, the owl decided to escalate the prank war. So they started placing wall pictures of Ice Cream Face. Any window they opened, any closet door, any light switch was able to terrify the living heck out of them. The two friends began to live in fear, terrified that the next Ice Cream Face should be just around any corner, behind any door. They even began to dream about Ice Cream Face. After weeks of sleepless nights, they decided to call it a truce. But that didn't stop the Ice Cream Faces. Still, they appeared at home, at work, at school, in the bathroom, in the night. The Ice Cream Faces were bigger and scarier and surprising than ever before. And what's more, Ice Cream's expression was more sinister within each and every appearance. His eyes began glowing red, and he began to wield knives in astonishing frequency. The hippo and owl both swore they were honoring the truce, which can only mean one thing. The newer, scarier Ice Cream Faces were appearing all by themselves. Just as they came to their horrifying realization, a gigantic Ice Cream Face burst through the wall and swung a knife down upon them. Instantly, the two friends awoke in their beds, having just had the exact same nightmare. They were relieved to find no knife marks on their backs. It seems that they're safe from Ice Cream Face, at least for now. That is, until one day, Dairy Queen announced a new menu item. This was a dessert sandwich, but that's no ordinary sandwich. It had a very curious ingredient that you've never noticed on a sandwich. That's right, in between those two biscuits, this sandwich contained ink. What? No! The ingredient was...
Yeah, it's ink.
What are you talking about? Who would ever put ink inside a dessert sandwich?
I don't know. You said the ingredient was weird. And what's weirder than ink in a dessert sandwich?
I suppose that's true, but...
So ink was on the sandwich, and then Ice Cream Face burst in and ate the sandwich! The end!
Whoa, hey friends, where have you been?
Like, you wouldn't believe us if we told you, but it was Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Where's the ink devil? I'd like to have a few words with that guy. Don't worry, I'm with you always. Okay, so that might have been a mistake. Not only because it's so dark, but Joe is definitely and inevitably gonna say the line,
Hey, who turned out the lights?
Okay, I found a flashlight. It's all gonna be okay. I just gotta switch it on and...